Now we have another problem here. So this is 5-2 Peekaboo. Pikachu runs from rest with an acceleration of 2 meters per second squared for the first 20 seconds and walk with an acceleration of -5 meters per second squared until she stops. So, babae pala si Pikachu. What is her total displacement travel? Okay, so I'll be giving maybe a minute to think of how you approach this problem. Hint, medyo mahaba tong problem na to. Okay? Sige. Okay, so how do we approach this problem? So we can divide it. So pwede mong isipin, meron kang dalawang situation here. So si Pikachu daw, pangit ang tsura ko. Picture ng tsura ng drawing. So si Pikachu daw, it started from rest and then accelerated at a rate of 2 meters per second squared. And then, so yan, dito takbo siya dyan. After that, after some final position, let's define this final position to be x at t equals 20, or x20 na lang for short. At x20, it changes its speed, it changes its acceleration to -5 meters per second squared. Therefore, it slows down, Pikachu slows down until it stops. So it stops at, let's say, at x rest. Okay? So the question now is, what is her total displacement traveled? So here, the acceleration, let us say A1 equals 2 meters per second squared. And then let's say I have A2, which is -5 meters per second squared. Okay. Now, dun sa una, ano yung given? What are the given quantities? So here, given yung total travel time, let us say T20 equals 20 seconds. Therefore, what equation can you use for the first situation? Anong pwede natin gamitin? Yung initial velocity ba at the first situation given?
Yes po.
Yes,
sir.
given. The V naught there equals what? I'll write this as V naught.
0.
0 meters per second.
Yes, tama. 0 siya kasi it starts at rest. The keyword here, it starts at rest. And then after that, you have your initial acceleration and time. So what do we want? Actually, we want, ano yung kailangan natin dito? We want this x20, di ba? Pero mamaya may kailangan pa tayong isa. You'll see why. Pero for the meantime, let's solve for x20. How do you determine our x? We have our v naught, we have our t, we have our a1. Ang final velocity ba given?
No, sir.
No. Therefore, what equation can we use?
Sir, position
Position
time.
Exactly. We will solve for the position time. So x20 is simply x naught, we will assume it to be 0, plus v naught t, again assumed to be 0, plus 1/2 a1 t squared, or a1 t20 squared. And we see that this is just 1/2 of a1, which is 2 meters per second squared, times t20, which is 20 seconds, and squared. Yeah. So when we solve that, the distance from the initial position, or the displacement for the first acceleration, is about 400 meters. So paki-check, 400 meters yan. Hindi pa yan yung sagot. Yun na yung sagot, 560 yung sagot to. Okay, now here's the thing. Remember, after going for 400 meters, Pikachu changes his acceleration. Bumagal siya. It changes its acceleration by -5 meters per second squared. Now, here's the thing. Given ba yung time Pikachu took until it goes to rest? Given ba yun?
No, sir.
No, it's
No,
not
sir.
given. So time is not given. Ano pa yung hindi given?
Sir, v naught.
The initial velocity when it changes its acceleration is also not given. But what is that?
The final velocity.
Sir, final v nung una.
Yes,
sir.
exactly. It's the final velocity of the first. So here we have our final velocity v20, and that can be computed. Ano yung v20 therefore?
Sir, 40.
How do you obtain that 40 meters per second? I think
Sir,
gagawin mo.
Velocity time.
Velocity time.
Yes,
function.
so we'll use the velocity time equation v naught plus 80, and this will vanish because v naught is at rest, and hence this is just 2 meters per second squared times, given yung time 20 seconds, and therefore you get 40 meters per second. This is also the initial velocity for the initial for -2 meters for the second trip. Okay? And then, so yeah, may 40 meters per second na ako. After that, ano nang gagawin? What I want is to find the distance from this position to the final position. Paano yun? Sir, di ba hindi naman given si time at that case? Ano gagamitin kong equation?
Sir, solve for
Velocity
muna.
position.
Velocity position. Bakit? So why can we use, so this is part A, this is part B. So the final velocity, VI here, I'll denote this as VI, which is equal to V20, which is 40 meters per second. What is the final velocity there? V final.
0, 0.
0.
0, because the part Pikachu stops after his travel, or her travel pala. Babae pala si Pikachu apparently. And after that, what is your X? So this is what we want. So X20 to X final. This is what we want. And then, so that, anong gagamitin? We will use velocity, position, Vx equation. So we have v squared equals v naught squared plus 2a quantity x minus x naught. And there, the initial velocity is not 0. The final velocity, on the other hand, is 0. And there, we can solve for x. X final minus x20 is equal to negative v naught squared over 2a. Diba? And when you solve that, we have minus 40 meters per second quantity squared over twice ng acceleration, which is negative 2 meters per second squared. Observe here that both the negative 0 will cancel, giving you a positive value of displacement.
Sir, negative 5.
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry, this should be negative 5. Thank you for that. Yeah, negative 5 meters per second squared. So this will be still positive. And what you get here is what? You get 160 meters. Tama?
Apo, sir.
Tama? 160 meters. Thus, the total displacement from the final position to the initial position is just, we'll add the two distances you obtained, which is 200 meters. Wait lang. 160 nga.
400, sir.
400, sorry. Sorry. 200. 400 pala to. Plus 160 meters, which is 560 meters. This is the final answer. This is what we want. Okay? Clear ba tayo doon? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, sige. So,